Hi, welcome in everybody. We're currently monitoring the tornado warnings that are up right now. Definitely an obvious hook right there. And a velocity couplet too. If you're in the Harrisonville area, East Lynn, Wingate, Huber, what is this airport? Lawrence Smith Memorial Airport, Daughtery, Garden City, Gun City. You need to be in your safe place. And we also have one up here. I think this radar site is down right now, which is not good. But we have an obvious velocity couplet on this one as well. They're both radar indicated still, nothing observed. We haven't seen a CC drop yet, I don't think either. Yeah, nothing really standing out on CC. Like they just still radar indicated. That one expires in 9 minutes. Right now we're just covering the active tornado warnings. Still got an obvious hook on this one. This one is south of Kansas City, south of Pleasant Hill. So if you're in Harrison, Daughtery, this is moving straight towards you. Eastland, Gun City, Garden City. Good morning. Let's see if we can time a little bit out for y'all. If I can remember which tool that is. It is this tool. I gotta zoom in, I think. Why is it doing that? Is it gonna give me times for this if I do this? Not the times I want. Hold on. Yeah, I can't get that to work. That is what it is. Bro, this storm almost hit my house. Had to wake up and take cover. Yeah. I was like, I saw this pop up. I was actually on the phone with a friend. And speaking of that, I need to open up YouTube chat. I completely forgot to open up YouTube chat, guys. Hold on. I am dual streaming right now. Let's check the velocity on everything real quick while I am doing both. Still got a couplet up here. I think that's what it's warned for, is that up there. I would assume so. And still got an obvious rotation right here. Note, we are very close to the radar site right here. We are covering the live tornado warnings right now. Let me finish pulling up my YouTube chat. Alright, I got my YouTube chat up now. Right now we're just covering the live tornadoes, guys. Here's some bills. Give me 1 second. Right now we got these two right here. I haven't really looked or had a second to look anywhere else yet. I had to get everything set up to go live. Still got the rotation up here. Again, if you're in any of these areas, you need to be in your safe place. Let's see. Where in the world is that for? Must have been an update for something. Obvious couplet right here. We are very close to the radar site. If you're in any of these areas, you need to be in your safe place now. Since we were so close, this means we're getting a lower look in the atmosphere, which means we're getting a much tighter rotation lower in the atmosphere, which increases the chances that this might actually be a tornado. That might be a CC drop. If I can switch to a bar. No, this is not where I live at. Read the location. Daughtery. This is near the Harder Conservation Center. The food place called Fat Boys. Okay, let me switch this to reflectivity real quick. Again, if you are in Eastland, Gun City, Daughtery, Garden City, looking forward ahead of this, Fenwick, Hadsell, Rose Hill, Quick City, you need to be watching this. It's already past Harrisonville. I just read that one. Huntsville, Missouri. That's this one up here. Yeah. Right now, the radar site is down. It's closest to it. So the Kansas radar site is currently the one doing your stuff. And this is the velocity signature that was on it. It had a good couplet for a little bit. They should have updated this polygon actually. But the rotation is broadened out some. But it's because we are so far away, I would stay in your safe place. Because we don't really have a good radar site for this. See how muddled this is? But if you're in any of these areas, you need to get to your safe place now. Right now, Kansas City, main Kansas City, all this is in front of you right now. So you're good. This was moving south of Kansas City earlier. It was all the way, let me see, I think it started over here near, it started a little bit farther back than this. Look at the velocity image on this. Still got an obvious rotation right here. Oh, they let it go. It's still rotating though. Okay. Oh, that's why it's falling apart. It's turning into a straight line wind threat now. You can see the surge of the straight line winds right there. All right, they let that one expire. Let's check. They still have it as warned as tornado possible. So just keep an eye on this. It may very well go tornado warned again. It wouldn't surprise me. Especially if it can latch onto this boundary right here. You can clearly see this boundary on radar right now. All right, let's go up here to our current active tornado warning. Still only radar indicated. If you're in any of these areas, they really need to do a new polygon right here. So if you're in New Columbia, Callow, Beaver, Macon, Jacksonville, you need to be watching out for this. This is labeled tornado possible. Let me see why. Oh, I see why. Down here, they're starting to form a hook, is why it's tornado possible. Starting to rotate, actually. So we need to keep an eye on that one too. Still watching right here. Right now we're just covering what's active. Right now, Tennessee, you're not expecting anything until later in the day. We can read this meso. So right now they have a discussion out for this area right here for tornadoes 85 to 110 miles per hour, wind at 65 to 80 miles per hour, and hail 1 inch to 1 3/4 of an inch. Get the Dominator 2 for this. Right now in St. Louis, I do have some active storms. It's just a hail and wind threat right now, though. Mostly, yeah. I'm in the Mobley area. I'm assuming the Mobley area would be this one up here, unless it's from the one that was down here that was currently, they got canceled. I'm gonna type in Mobley and see what comes up. Moberly. If I can freaking spell today, it is too early in the morning. Is it Moberly, Missouri? That's what we're looking at. That's why. Right now, the actual rotation is north. Yeah, St. Louis, you need to be on the lookout for today. Today could be a really, really bad day for St. Louis. It's very conditional on what happens, but St. Louis needs to really pay attention. I just wish, is there not a single, I wonder if any of these radar sites look any better. No, you just can't see anything from that far away. Yeah, it's outside of, because literally their site, I don't even know when the last time that site was updated. Okay, this site, you can obviously see the rotation a little bit better. This one back here is rotating too. Okay. Moberly is over here. The velocity couplet that we did have was up here, but I don't see a velocity couplet anymore, so I'm assuming it's just a hail threat and a straight line wind threat right now. It's very bowed out right now as well, which would indicate a straight line wind threat more than a tornado threat. I don't see any obvious rotation or hook anymore. But Moberly, I would, just to be safe, just keep an eye on it. It hasn't gotten to you yet, but if you do get the actual polygon and it gets on you and it still stays warned, you need to go to your safe place. I don't know what you're talking about, unless you're talking about this. Actually, we can check the velocities again. See, the problem is you can see that there's upper level rotation, but you're so far away. This does not mean that there's a tornado on the ground. That does mean you have rotation in the upper level still, though. Moberly, the rotation is up here, and it's currently tracking this way. We currently can't see the rotation on radar because we're just in a bad spot, and we have multiple radar stations down, which makes this extremely difficult. They're keeping it with a tornado possible ping pong sized hail, 70-mile-per-hour wind. So even if there's not a tornado, there is significant straight line winds coming with this. I mean, for the night, I can check because I'm scared of thunder. I'm freaked out. Like, you're north of Moberly. I mean, it depends on how north. All right, they let it expire for now. I would definitely not get off yet just because we are like where it just passed over is like a bad spot for the radar station anyways. Hi over on YouTube. All right, I'm gonna check down here just to check on this line. Again, for this line, it's no longer tornado warned, but it does have a straight line wind threat that you need to be watching out for. This one's no longer tornado warned either, but we're waiting to get some better images of this storm. Also, this one, let me switch this to slider actually. Watch right here. We might actually get some rotation that starts to rotate right here. It looks like it might start hooking. Right now we're covering these were previously active tornado warnings, so that's what we're covering. All of this is just screaming straight line wind threats. This is not, see, we're lucky that at least we have this site up, but the fact that to have this many sites up in this risk zone today is kind of concerning to me. All right, somebody else is probably going to start taking over these warnings. Let's see. Okay. So I have these storms are going to probably start getting switched over, and this radar site is going to start doing the warnings for the stuff. Right now, nothing's obviously standing out, but we're just monitoring because of we did have tornado warnings go through some populated areas. That's why I got on. It's like it's early in the morning. People need to be aware of this stuff in the morning, especially if you get jousted out of bed by an alert. You got to have something. Yeah, pretty much. Timu Weather Channel. Thank you so much. Except for the Weather Channel never actually covers anything. Let's be real. If you've actually watched the Weather Channel, most of their stuff is just the stuff they make. Even when we have weather outbreaks, they're never really like zoomed in doing anything like this. Like this honestly will save more lives than the crap that they try to pull as weather coverage at this point. It's kind of insane. Yeah, unless it's a hurricane. If it's a hurricane, oh, that's wall-to-wall coverage. Was it the Weather Channel or like your local weather? If it was your local weather, oh, they take care of you. But the Weather Channel, any national thing, like none of them take care of you. No, you're good. You're good. I wonder if here, now that I'm live, we can actually test something. Let's see. We're going to change the backgrounds of my stuff real quick and see what y'all think is better. Display settings. All right, let's start with gray presentation. Does that make stuff more visible or no? Yes. All right, so we'll leave it on that. Thank you. Actually, let me see if I can change one more thing on it. Let me see if I can change the state lines. Display settings. I can. We're going to change the state lines to black. All right, that did not change them to black. Okay, I don't know why that didn't work. Display settings. Why does that? Oh, that's because I did the counties. Y'all, I'm having a moment. I guess I needed to do the counties anyways. All right, now we can see the states better. There we go, there we go, there we go. Is that better? We got better visibility. Now you can actually see the state borders. Of course. We just need to make some adjustments. We are still monitoring all this. I don't know if we had any through last night or anything. I was like late last night before early this morning and all that. I kind of like passed out yesterday. I got off actually. I was like, I didn't feel good. I tried to stay on. Okay, we went tornado warned again. What does this say? Radar indicated. I don't see any obvious rotation though. That's the problem. Alrighty, let's zoom in and see who's here. So if you're in Slater, Gilliam, Glasgow, Fayette, Armstrong, you need to be in your safe places. Check reflectivity. Okay, it does have a hook on it. It does have a hook, guys. Raytown, Missouri? How southeast of it is it? Right now, everything's... If you're in this area, it's just straight line wind threat right now. Still got a hook on this. Let me check the velocities. See, I just don't see... It might be because... No, it's not the radar site. Okay, this is the rotation right here that they're talking about on velocity. Still radar indicated, lasts for 24 minutes. It is trying to wrap up though, so you do need to be in your safe place. It's also going to have a straight line wind threat with it. Let's see what the warning is. 60 mile per hour. It's probably, yeah, it's 0.75 inches hail. I hate having to go out here to like click off of stuff. I gotta figure out if there's a way to like not have to do that. I see YouTube now. He is not going to show it because that's not top right now. Thank you. All right. Lots of flooding though, so be careful. Springfield, Missouri? What are you talking about? Currently monitoring this rotation moving towards Slater, Gilliam, and Glasgow. Let's go back to reflectivity. Still have a hook on it right here. It's a little bit more messy though. For this new thunderstorm warning up here, it is 60 mile per hour winds, golf ball sized hail. I think that was our previously warned tornado warning. Still have a hook on this. Still have an obvious hook signature on this. So if you live in any of these areas, you need to be in your safe place. Just checking down, looking at this line, seeing if I see anything else that's concerning. Because this does have a mesoscale discussion on it for tornado possible. That's not what I wanted it on. Yeah, all of this is straight line winds down here right now. Much tighter rotation. And if you're in Slater, Glasgow, you need to be in your safe place. Appreciate all the likes and follows as well. I really wish this radar site was not down. We'd have such a good view of this storm if it wasn't down. Oh, Fallon, Missouri. I will check real quick because there's not much I can update on this right now. Okay, I had a feel it was over here. Yeah, so basically, St. Louis today, this entire area where y'all just really need to stay weather aware. If you're planning on traveling, you need to check your weather before you leave. You need to make sure storms are not going to be in your area at that time. You need to make sure where you're at or where you're going has somewhere that you can be safe. And if you do all those things, you should be okay. Now, if something historic happens, something historic happens. But right now, the threat is conditional. It's always conditional. We gotta wait and see what happens with the storms. We gotta see if they stay discreet. Leewood, Missouri? Are you in the risk zone? Let me check on this real quick, actually. Still got rotation on this. Not an obvious hook signature anymore. It's probably got, looks rain wrapped right now. Either that or it's falling apart. Yeah, I think this one fell apart. We'll still monitor it, but I think it fell apart. I'm pretty sure. I like turtles. Me too. Drexel, Missouri. Where is that compared to where am I? Drexel, Missouri, you are just a rain and straight line wind threat right now. It's not severe though. Yeah. It's probably more of a flash flood threat more than anything. Still radar indicated, so if you're in Slater, Glasgow, Armstrong, Fayette, you need to be in your safe place. Still probably going to have significant straight line winds and hail with it, even if it doesn't produce a tornado. Yeah, you're slowly gonna see flash flooding pop up as everything moves off to the east. Because you're just getting so much convection. Jacksonville, Missouri. Jacksonville, Missouri isn't over here, is it? I can type it in. I don't know why. I mean, this is down to the south of you, so I don't know. You might be hearing the ones from down there. This one was previously tornado warned. Let me check the velocity on it. I mean, I don't see anything obviously on velocity, but we also don't have any really good radar sites to look at this storm. And try St. Louis. I think St. Louis is the one that's taking over for this. Yeah, I don't see anything obvious right now on this storm. Once it moves like closer or farther into one of these other radar zones, we'd be able to tell. But this is like a really bad dead zone for us. Fortunately, we have a huge one of the radar sites down here that we use. Still rotating. Okay, it's forming a new hook, I think. It's starting to clear out an inflow right there too. Y'all got this. Yeah, if you're in Slater, Glasgow, Fayette, and looking down the line, Higbee, Armstrong, Harrisburg. I'm sure quite a few areas are canceling school for today. I'm from Harrisburg, and there's no way they would cancel for a tornado warning. Ayo. It's for a tornado warning over here, east of St. Louis. For ping pong size hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds. Definitely some large hail with this, though. Most of them aren't canceling for that. They're canceling because of flooding. That is true. I mean, some school districts will cancel for tornadoes, especially if it's like a day like we know is going to be bad. Like today would be a day like it really could be bad. But on the other hand, if the school knows that they can shelter in place, then they ain't canceling. Still watching this as it moves towards Glasgow. It's currently right over Sleater. Rotation is getting stronger though on it. You can see right there. So actually I can zoom in. Oh, I got more names, guys. I got more names. New Frankfort, Cambridge, Ahold. Cambridge, you need to be in your safe place. West Glasgow, Lewis Mill, Louisville, Steinmetz. I don't know if I said that right at all. Forest Green, Shannondale, or Rockford. You need to be near safe places. This is currently moving through, I would assume, just move through a populated area right here. Actually, I can zoom in really far. Whoa. Love that. Alright, let me see, make sure that wasn't another tornado warning somewhere else. Just the one tornado warning. This one expires in 10 minutes. It's in Missouri. Thank y'all for helping me in the chat. The chat, I literally have like a tiny little box that I can see, and like every second all I just see is like stuff flying up. So it's like I miss quite a few messages because of it. I literally have to stop, and I have to like go over here and scroll, and then it's still like, it'll still jerk me to the bottom. Check the reflectivity on this. See, this is what I don't like, is when I click on stuff and I can't get anything to go away, and I have to zoom all the way out to click off of everything. It's still rotating right here, but it's becoming much more rain wrapped. Is anybody else live? I'm pretty sure somebody else had to go live, didn't they? There's no way nobody else went live. That's crazy. Really? I mean, like, I thought somebody would have went live for like south of Kansas City. Like, that was a populated area. Like, that's crazy to me. I'm waiting for the velocities to update. Velocities are getting stronger. I mean, but it wasn't small towns, though. Like, Harrisonville isn't small, is it? It's the population of Harrisonville. I don't know. I find it concerning. Normally, they're alive if something like that happens. They put a tornado possible 1-inch hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds. That's for this segment right here. Still got tight rotation right there. That's the tightest I've actually seen the rotation since this started. Yeah, you can even see it on the storm relative velocity. You got the rotation right here. Guys, if you're in Glasgow, Armstrong, Lewes Mill, If there's a tornado on the ground, it's moving directly towards y'all right now. Just so y'all know, this is the storm relative velocity, so this is a little bit different than just the regular velocity. This is looking at the actual storm. So like storm relative velocity can really show you like a good couplet and help you identify where rotation is. But it does look different. The colors are different because it's done differently. Oh, let's while we're monitoring this, we can take a quick little peek at the significant tornado parameters right now. Am I blind? Okay. All right. So this is the problem is we're starting to get our significant tornado parameters are starting to move up into these areas. So we're going to see an increasing chance that we're going to get a tornado watch popping up. Also, we just got another polygon for this one. Still radar indicated expires in 48 minutes. So we're going to go back to that and look at what's going on with that real quick. If I can click off, please, and thank you. So the rotation is still right here. It's probably them just changing something on the update. Okay. Again, if you are in Glasgow, Armstrong, Steinmeitz, Burton, Bunker Hill, Pumpkin Center, Yates, Roanoke, Mount Airy, Harks, Higby, Moberly, I would keep an eye on this just in case. Rennick, Clark, Harrisburg, you need to keep an eye on this. Oh, I'm like way out of my polygon. It's because I have red roads on. That's why. See, we're finding out things that are wrong as we go. Where is... How do I change my road settings? I wonder if that's also in display. No. Shoot. All right, I don't know what to do about the roads. The roads will just be red, and we'll just have to remember that they're a lighter red. Yes, Moberly the southern half of Moberly is in this. But y'all need to stay no matter where you are, because this can always wobble. We can always get a new polygon that says something different. They have it going east towards Hannibal later on. What are y'all talking about? Are y'all talking about this cell? Okay. That's annoying. All right, the rotation is not as strong as it was. It's definitely broadened out a lot, but we still have a tornado warning, so until it expires, you need to stay in your safe place. Okay. Hey everyone, give him some love since he's the only one here keeping us updated. Oh, thank you. Right now, we're just focusing on what's going on right now with the tornado warning. We can look at storm relative velocity real quick just to show you the couplet. So even on storm relative velocity, you can see this is broadened out a lot. We don't really have a couplet anymore. So I doubt there's still a tornado on the ground with this right now, but it could try and recycle. So we'll just keep an eye on it. Right now, it's been radar indicated the whole time. So we'll just have to wait. Yeah. I was surprised, like not even like literally nobody is covering it. Like I opened my phone, I was like, because I posted a video about everything, and then I realized that nobody else was on, and I was like, okay, I probably just need to get on then, because I'm like awake, like might as well. Kirksville, Missouri. Where's Kirksville, Missouri? I have to type that in. There's got to be a better radar site for that. I don't really see any rotation on this. Kirksville, Missouri is just, you need to watch out for a flooding threat. All right, it looks like it might be starting to rotate again. Hold on. Yeah, it looks like it's starting to try and rotate again. It might be forming a new one. They need to do a new polygon farther north. Huntsville, Moberly, you need to be watching out for this. No, this is called Radar Omega. I paid, so you have to pay to get the app, and then you have the app and all of that free offers, but then you can get the subscription that unlocks you, everything else. The subscription's not that bad either. Yeah, they need a new polygon right here. I promise, like, I don't know what they're doing. I mean, I guess it's because they have a site down right now. But it's also like the only active like tornado warning we got right now. Are you talking about like is the tornado actually active? Right now it's just radar indicator. We don't know if it's actually on the ground or not. We just know that it meets the criteria for us to say that it's possible that there's a tornado on the ground. I'm glad I turned off TikTok notifications on like getting them popping up on my phone. Oh Lord. I just opened my phone and I went over to click over and it had like the 99 plus thing or whatever on it. I was like, goodness. I turned it off like the other day because I had a video blow up and it was insane. Adena, Missouri? Talking about this one? Nothing obvious on radar or velocity. At least it moved into this one. Let me check the velocity again. There is some rotation with that one. I have, so this is a 10% chance of seeing a tornado within 25 miles of your location. That is for today, actually. I just have that on. I actually can turn it off so it's not as cluttered on the screen. Warrensburg, are you here? Yeah, I'm gonna have to switch off the gray layer. The gray layer is making the roads all red and it's throwing me off too. What does basic look like? Yeah, but you can't read the words on this one now. They really need to make all of this customizable. We'll do road now. No, because that makes everything red. I don't want it to be red. That's crazy work. What does a blue map look like? All right, that's better. That's better. We'll do blue map. A blue map, it looks much better. Velocity is getting stronger. Let's look at storm relative. You got a couplet right here. Is the black lines good on this, or should I change the lines to a different color, guys? Should I change them to white lines for the states? Yes, I saw yes. General display. Is that better, or is that like too much? I mean, it makes it hyper visible. Yes, we are monitoring this rotation near Moberly. It is whatever is out there is rain wrapped, if there is anything. So don't go out there trying to look for it. Alrighty. Moberly, I would go ahead and get in or be in your safe place in Moberly, because this is up on the northern half of this polygon. They really should have a polygon that's probably more like this, covering more areas like this instead of, I think it's a little too far south right now. All right, let me see. This is upper level. Gosh, why is there no sights? This is really like This is not good. Not having this site right here is really creating a huge dead area. What am I getting alerts for? Hold on. I got rid of the meso discussion. We have a tornado possible. I assume it's that one. Yeah. Excuse me. Then just our one tornado warning. Washington, Missouri. Why can I not spell? Right now the storms and everything is pretty far out from you. I gotta have to check a future radar to do the other, but right now we got an active warning, so we're gonna chill with the active warning for right now. It's just rotation, radar indicated. We have not had anything confirmed as of yet. If there is a tornado, I honestly don't think it'd be big, just because of the velocity signatures wouldn't indicate a big tornado. Ends in 27 minutes. How small would I say it is? I would say it's probably a small tornado if there is one. Thank you, Michael, for the like or the hug. I'm not sure what that is, but I appreciate it. Thank you. You're in Higby. I think the rotation is past you now, so you should be good in Higby. Check this. Yeah, the rotation, if we have a tornado, is going to be up here. Is it shifting south? It's moving in this general direction. It can wobble, but it's moving in this general direction. Again, if you're just joining, we are monitoring the tornado warning just south of Moberly. It does include part of Moberly in it. If you do live there, you need to be in your safe place. All right, that's for this thunderstorm warning. It's because it is tornado possible. 1-inch hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds. That's going to last for 54 minutes. That's a continuation of this storm that they have warned right now. Power's out in Higbee. Wind calming down. All right. Y'all let me know if y'all do see any damage. And you're more than welcome to join my Discord. It is in my bio on TikTok. There is a section in there for you to post any pictures, videos, media. One is specifically for stuff that I can use. All I need to do is put your name and location for it. If you don't want it to be reused, there's another channel for that. The rotation, let's pull the velocity back up. The rotation is right here. Is what they're talking about. It's kind of slowly tracked up north towards more of the Moberly area. We can look at storm relative velocity to get a better idea, yeah. We'll see if they extend this or not. Right now they got 22 minutes left on that. This is a new discussion just popped up. Okay. Elevated storms will persist through mid-morning into west central and southern Illinois with a threat for large hail. A separate MCS will spread eastward from... I don't know what that means. Okay. Tornadoes 85 to 100 mile per hour, winds 65 to 80 mile per hour, hails 1 inch to 1.75 inches. Jacksonville, Missouri. That's because of this right to Safi. This is Radar Omega, and then I also have the $11 or $12 subscription that gives you everything. And then I can use it on computer with just a sign-in. Y'all, I just hit 500 followers on TikTok. Thank y'all so much. I appreciate it. East Texas, not for today, I don't think. We can switch over to the model real quick. I'll check that. All right, this is significant tornado parameters. Let's switch to actual reflectivity. We'll do the composite reflectivity. Is there a risk? Is that must be because you see storms in East Texas about 14. That is 10 p.m. tonight, actually. Yeah. Let me check one more thing, because that's just the reflectivity. Okay. The parameters will be slightly up, but nothing compared to what we're expecting for the rest of this area. We'll have to keep an eye on it. I don't even know do they even have a risk for today? Y'all might have a risk for today. I don't know how far that goes down to. Yeah, they're not showing a risk for y'all. I would say you're okay, but stay tuned. It probably is just like a wind or hail threat or something. Let me look at what the categorical is. Yeah, it says you are going to see thunderstorms. We'll just have to see. I try not to say we won't see something, because look, surprising things happen all the time. I was surprised to have to get on this morning. I don't see any obvious rotation anymore with this. Where did my TikTok chat go? There we go. My TikTok, my pop out disappeared for a second, so I couldn't see anything anybody was saying. Texas, if you don't like the weather, wait 5 minutes, it will change. Ayo. Yeah, I don't see anything. There's one south. You don't have one actually in Jacksonville, no. You had some straight line winds come through for sure. As you're doing this from your app, I'm in Google Maps and I see the same thing. What do you mean? Are y'all saying that y'all see something else? Or are you saying that mine is the same thing you're seeing? Yeah, my other app says that there's only one. There's hail reports of 1.5 inches in Macon, north of Jacksonville. So y'all definitely had some straight line winds and hail come through. Okay, bet. Thank you, Susan. Pretty sure this is like outside of the polygon at this point. Yeah. I'm not seeing anything obvious rotation anymore. And whatever, I mean, there is rotation right here. Maybe near Madison, but it's like, the problem is, it's like completely outside of this polygon. I don't know why they still have this polygon up. Northeast Missouri. Let me switch to a different radar. Well, actually, the radar I have on is the best one, probably. The only thing I'm watching is this right here. This is storm relative velocity. This is where I would watch to see if something's gonna wrap up again. These, I assume, is what you're talking about. Very broad. Let's look at reflectivity. We can keep an eye on these. Kansas City, Missouri, I'm pretty sure is just a flash flood threat now. Or it's not even doing anything anymore. But you might be experiencing flash flooding right now, so... Well, you'll have a flash flood warning. Or a flash flood... Yeah, you have a flash flood warning. I ain't tripping. Oh, thank you for the roses. I appreciate it. And a mark of love. I appreciate it so much. Thank you, guys. Let me switch this overlay off. Get some of this stuff. Huge shout out to Mander for all the gifts. Will you be on all day? I'm worried about Perryville, Missouri. The tornado we had last year is freaking me. I will try and be on as much as I can today, but if there's nothing going on, then I will probably get off so I can try and get some other things done. But if it's popping off, I'm gonna be on. St. Louis right now. Is there storms in St. Louis right now? There's storms northeast of St. Louis right now. St. Louis, your threat is later today. All right, they did let that warning expire as well. So we currently have no tornado warnings active. But that could change because we are still monitoring this. Let's see if it's still labeled as tornado possible. Springfield, Missouri. Just gonna type it in. That's the one thing I like about this software is I can just do that. Springfield, Missouri, you are good right now. I think you're good. Hold on. Let me not say this. I be forgetting I'm not clicked onto the radar site. That's the one thing they really need to do with this is they just need to make it to where it auto switches wherever you're zoomed in, if that's what you want. You lost 8 chickens in the flash flood. I am so sorry. It is concerning because it looks like it's trying to rotate. We're keeping an eye on that. Williamstown, Missouri. We are getting heavy rain and lightning. Mexico, Missouri. Right now, it's just this tornado possible storm. Got 1-inch hail on it and 60-mile-per-hour winds. Like right now, though, any of the rotation is, if we had rotation that you saw, it's mostly north. So I don't think you need to worry about a tornado specifically with this, but I would be worried about hail and straight line winds with it. Grand Rapids. Is there anything going on in Grand Rapids right now? You're good in Grand Rapids. Still monitoring this tornado possible thunderstorm. Mexico, Missouri. We talked about Mexico, Missouri. The rotation that we were seeing in the storm is to the north of Mexico, Missouri. So the main thing is just the straight line wind and hail threat. I need to fix. I just realized my camera's. That is not what I was trying to do. There we go. All right, it did go tornado warn like I expected. It's this rotation right here that they're seeing. So if you were in Paris, Stewartsville, Holiday, Gross, Mark Twain Lake, Center, Perry, Rensselaer, I don't know how to say that. Sorry, guys. I just cooked that one. Again, you need to be getting in your safe places. And even if there is not a tornado on the ground, this storm is warned for 60-mile-per-hour straight line winds, I think. And then quarter size hail as well. So y'all need to be in your safe places. No CC drop. Your car is screwed. Oh no. It just came through Mobley. It's terrible. The straight line winds. Monroe City. Right now we're monitoring it. Monroe City, I would keep an eye on this because it has all the polygons that have been issued. It stayed towards the northern end of the polygons. Now, not to say it can be anywhere in the polygon, but I would just keep an eye on it. We are still in Missouri. Excuse me. Of course. Again, if you're just joining, we're monitoring the tornado warning in Missouri. It's for Paris, Stoutsville, Holiday, Mark Twain Lake, Perry, Center, Rensselaer. I know I'm probably butchering that. Southeast Iowa is getting hammered with rain right now. Oh my goodness. Let's look at storm relative velocity. Check out southeast Georgia. Is there any possibility of rain in the near future? These wildfires are a monster. Right now, we have a tornado warning. I don't. I'll take 2 seconds though to do this, so we can make that work. I'll check the next 24 hours for you. Or the next 18 hours. And the answer to the next 18 hours is no. New tornado warning warned for 1-inch sized hail, less than 50-mile-per-hour winds, though. Or severe thunderstorm warning. I don't know if I said tornado or severe thunderstorm warning. Got tornado on the brain because we got one, or at least we got a warning. We don't know if we actually have one. It's not confirmed. Very contaminated image, though. It will make it look like you gotta pay for something, but there will be an X for free service. I don't know which hour it's talking about. Storm Shield. Let me scroll up. Again, if you live in these areas, you need to be taking shelter. I wonder if I can turn off flash flood discussions. Sorry, I just gotta get some of that stuff on my screen. All right, this is starting to bow out a lot. It's probably turning into a straight line wind threat now. Yeah, so we are watching. There was rotation. Excuse me, sorry. I had to clear my throat there. There was rotation, and then it's broadened out some now. I literally just bought a house in Paris, Missouri, but I'm not there right now. Well, at least you're not there. Not confirmed, just radar indicated rotation. So it looked like in Mexico, Missouri. Right now you just got straight line wind surging. You're getting about 60 major straight line wind. Do they update that? They probably should update this to like 65, 70 mile per hour. Because you are getting a pretty good surge of some straight line winds to the south here. I was in Spring Hill a couple hours ago. Has there been any confirmation of a tornado touchdown? Not that I've seen. But I also don't have Twitter or anything pulled up. And I'm the only one who's covering anything right now, I'm pretty sure. Which is surprising when you have active tornado warnings. You'd think other people would be covering it. Right now we're just focusing on the tornado warnings. Whenever we have something active like that, it gets all the covering time. Lots of lost power all over the place. We got the warning 3 minutes before the fan. Yeah. So is it like, did y'all have a confirmed tornado for y'all, or what happened? Was it just, or was it just a straight line wind threat? Or do you not know? Thank you for the rose, Jennifer. I appreciate it. Okay, I see that you're also messaging. I'm on looking at 2 separate chats. So my nephew lives on a farm and center in a trailer. Oh wow. Sedalia, Missouri. Sedalia near here. I'm just gonna look up to see if that's near here. Sedalia, Missouri. Just a flash flood threat. All I've heard is multiple buildings heavily damaged and a few trailers wrecked. That sounds like a tornado then. If you get any pictures, my Discord is on my profile page. Just copy and paste it and join it. There's 2 places that you can put any kind of videos, pictures, any kind of media. One is for stuff that I can use just with your name and location. So if you do a post, make sure you put your name and location so I can give you credit. There's also another one that I won't use, but you can just post so other people can see it. I appreciate you covering this. Literally couldn't find any other coverage, of course. Yeah, I was really surprised that literally no one was covering it. For those of you that do not know, I am dual stream on TikTok and YouTube. Not seeing any obvious couplets or anything, so I would still stay in your safe place, but I don't see anything too alarming at all. Yes, I appreciate you. We have no weather coverage in Moberly. Really? That's crazy. Yeah, this looks like it's gonna turn into a straight line wind threat. It keeps switching between straight line wind threat and then you'll get a quick spin up. We just don't know if anything's truly confirmed yet, you know? Major straight line wind threat, though. Weather ASMR. Alright. Tornado possible when it chilled. They did upgrade it like I thought they should have for 70 mile per hour wind. Okay. Sorry, I got distracted because all the colors on my map just flipped. I don't know why it looks like that. I've never seen it all flip like that. But 70 mile per hour, 1 hour, 4 minutes. They did a huge polygon because it is a big bowed out band right now, which is characteristic of what you see when you have a straight line wind threat. And the highest places that you're going to see the highest winds is when you get these bowing out segments inside the already bowed out band. Columbia, Missouri. Actually, I know where Columbia, Missouri is. Columbia, Missouri, you're just probably straight line wind, hail threat, and flash flood threat. That is on the way to you. All right, we are starting to see some tidal rotation right here too on the last scan. We'll have to see another scan just to make sure it's no contamination. Joplin, Missouri. Joplin down here. You know what? Before I embarrass myself thinking I know some geography, we're just going to type it in. Yep, I was about to embarrass myself, y'all. Joplin, you're good for today, I think. Definitely need to watch this. We are starting to see some tidal rotation. Check reflectivity. Whatever it is, it's wrapped up in this rain too. Of course. The only reason I checked the other places because I know that was near these storms. We are currently in Missouri. Southwest Atlanta, as in Atlanta, Georgia. Right now, y'all are having, what is this? So y'all are wildfires right now, right? I'm pretty sure. Yeah, y'all have a wildfire risk. Right now, I know in the next 24 hours, y'all aren't expecting any precip to help with that. Let's check on the velocities on this now. Yeah, definitely getting some strong rotation right here. If you're in the Monroe City area, I would probably get in your safe place too there. Rensselaer, Perry Center, looking forward. Hannibal, Palmyra, I would keep an eye on it. New London, Frankfurt. can speak English today. Weldon Springs, Missouri, north of St. Louis. All right. I'm assuming it's somewhere in here, so we're just going to say y'all are in the 10% plus the SIG 2 for tornadoes, I think. It's a SIG 2 today, right? I actually check my... See, that's the one reason I did have that overlay on earlier. Yeah. We still got the SIG 2 risk. Wait, is that the tornado risk? Did they upgrade it? They just upgraded it, y'all. They just upgraded it. That's a 15% moderate risk for tornadoes. EF3 plus expected. Wait, does that say 30% chance of EF3 pluses? Y'all, today in St. Louis could be a day. They just updated this. Let's check this. Yep, they went moderate for it. We have a moderate risk. We also expand it with our other risk levels too. This is going to be a day, guys. Hail, SIG 1, 30% moderate risk. Let's go back to our tornado warning. I know that's okay. Today might be a day, guys. Y'all need to stay tuned today. Still got rotation on this. Radar indicated only, not confirmed. Yes, be careful in St. Louis today, guys. The whole area is in a very sparsely populated area and in a radar hole. Yeah. You're moving from St. Louis to Paris and I'm in STL now. Yeah, it is going to be a day. Y'all really need to pay attention today. When they put out a SIG 2 like that and say a 30% chance of like the tornadoes, that if the tornado happens, it could be an EF3 plus, that is dangerous. I just had quarter-size hail hit about an hour ago out in Illinois. Southern California probably has a fire threat. Southern California always has a fire threat. I don't know for sure, but that's just an assumption. Right now, we're just staying on this tornado warning while we do have it active, because this is a radar hole, or this area is a less covered area usually. Especially right now, we have the Columbia site is down, so we're having to jump from two sites that have been really far away from these storms most of the time. So right now, let me check the CC on this real quick and we'll look at the reflectivity, and then I'm going to put out the actual outlook that I don't know, it just dropped a little bit ago, I think. I don't know, I can pull up exactly when it dropped. So I want to check CC first. Not seeing anything on that. Storm relative velocity. Yeah, definitely got some rotation right here. And reflectivity. Even if there isn't a tornado on the ground, guys, this is packing a huge punch of straight line winds and hail. People are keeping kids home from school in STL and schools are dismissing early. Yeah, I'm gonna be real, with that upgrade, it is totally up to you as a parent deciding the safety of your child. And if you don't think it's safe for them to go out today, that is totally your decision, and I agree with you. I wouldn't trust anybody. I'm not a parent, but if I had a kid, I wouldn't trust anybody else to protect my kid or keep them safe better than myself. Yeah, I know. There's a couple of radars that aren't down. It's like we're like a. I'm thankful that this radar site is up, but here's the problem: if we get a tornado that comes through here and knocks out this radar, um, where's our next closest radar? We got over here, here, over here, over here. The ranges on these are not enough. We need this radar site. That's the problem. Do you know about the weather that would be in the Hillsborough area? Hillsborough, like where Hillsborough? Springfield. Springfield, you have a severe thunderstorm warning for 1.25 inch hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds expires in 39 minutes. Mahomet, Illinois. All right, let's take 1 second. I'm gonna put the outlooks on for us real quick. We're gonna start. We're gonna start with a categorical outlook. Give everybody a second. I hope everybody generally knows where they'd be. I'm gonna give everybody a second. I'm not gonna move it or anything. Thank you for the roses, Blaine, and the. I think that's a hug or something. Love, thank you. This is your categorical risk. So this is a 1 through 5 scale, and then a thunderstorm scale is your lightest color. Right now we have a 1, 2, 3, and then a level 4. You have a moderate risk for St. Louis. This just got updated. This is the big concerning feature for today. And then the reason that got upgraded is because our tornado risk also went up for today. Our tornado risk went up, if I can click it, to a 15% chance of seeing a tornado within 25 miles of your area. And then on top of that, you also have a SIG 2 threat, and it's a 30% chance you could see, if a tornado does happen, it could be EF3 or greater, and that's a 30% chance. Of course, everybody take a second to look around, find where you are, and this isn't exact. Of course, we can see strong tornadoes really anywhere in a lot of these areas, but the main focus is going to be St. Louis for our tornado risk. The biggest thing today is it really going to be that bad? It's looking like it could be a bad day. When you get a SIG 2 like that, plus a 15% risk and a moderate for tornadoes, this is one of those high impact days where you need to pay attention. Especially for a highly populated area like this. Like, we are almost bullseye on St. Louis for today. Paris, Missouri. I think this is past Paris, Missouri. Yeah, you're good. We're gonna check on this tornado warning again. Everybody was kind of asking about everywhere, so I just wanted to do that quick little coverage so everybody could really see what we're looking at right now. Switch to velocities. How north of St. Louis would you bank on? What do you mean, how north of St. Louis? All right, we just got another extended tornado warning for this. It still has rotation on it. Let's take a little peek of the rotation over the last 7 frames. Yeah, it's still got some rotation on it. Makes sense on why they warned it again. Still only radar indicated though. Now, if it doesn't have a tornado, it does have 1-inch hail and 70-mile-per-hour winds. So even if it is not a tornado, you still recommend going indoors because it has some serious winds packing with it. St. Louis, yeah, we're expecting it just got upgraded to a 15% chance of seeing tornadoes within 25 miles of your location. So it's turned into, that's a moderate risk. That's a pretty big deal. I'm just like, It's gonna be a long day today, guys. I'm watching this down here for rotation as well, east of Columbia. It does look like it's trying to reach out and wrap up. That's why I'm saying that. Louisiana, Missouri. Excuse me. All right, we're monitoring the tornado threat for you, Louisiana. So just stay tuned. Right now, it's possible that there's a tornado on the ground. If there's not, you still have 70-mile-per-hour winds and 1-inch hail. That's what it's warned for right now. And 70 miles per hour wind is bad enough. Yep, Louisiana, Missouri, you are currently under a tornado warning. So if you live there, you need to be getting to your safe place. We can take a peek at storm relative velocity too. Right now, there's no tight couplet on it. I think it keeps tightening up, so we might be seeing a QCLS threat. Time frame for St. Louis area. Give me 1 second. St. Louis models, convection HER, the composite reflectivity. So storms are going to be in your area starting around 1 to 2 o'clock. It just depends on ignition. And then it's really just from there, you might see a couple, and then it really gets serious around, that would be 6 o'clock for y'all in St. Louis. That's 7 o'clock for y'all in St. Louis. And that's not, or 8 o'clock for y'all. All right, let's go back to our active tornado warning, because I do try to do that. That's the most important part of why I go live. How strong is this wind right now? Hold on. That's gotta be, yeah, that's a glitch. Oh, Lord. We'll have to wait for the next frame to go in, because ain't no way that's real. That's a glitch. Mascoutah, Illinois. I will look that up real quick for you. Okay, just so you know, this is starting to wrap up again, New London, so you need to be aware. And then right here, I would watch out too. I think this is really a QCLS threat more than anything. That's why they keep warning it. And who did I say? St. Louis, Missouri. We're looking storms anywhere. There'll be storms in your area all afternoon and really picking up later afternoon, early evening into the evening hours. Who was it that I said I was going to look something up for? I didn't lost it now. Springfield, Missouri. Oh, never mind. Mascoutah. I'll do Springfield. Springfield's quick. Springfield's near me. I think Springfield's near me. Yeah, we're not gonna... Me and geography is not happening today. Even though that's like the majority of what my job is. Don't tell them. Don't tell them. Springfield, you're good. Okay. Let me switch back to velocity real quick. Yeah, definitely wrapping up here. Or it was wrapped up for a second. It's definitely a QCLS threat right now. Of course, Liz. All right, let me look up Mascoutah, Illinois. I think I butchered that. All right, you're basically St. Louis area. Same thing for you that I've been saying for St. Louis. Yours will be after St. Louis just because you are off to the east of it. But you're still in that 15% risk for tornadoes today, which is very, very, very concerning. Again, over here with this storm, even if you do not see a tornado, this is producing straight line winds of 70 miles per hour at least. Thanks earlier. I thought I saw it was saying north. Of course. Is my YouTube the same as your TikTok? Actually, it should be a part of my Linktree link. But I can tell you, actually, if you type in Weather Central, it should come up and all look the same. I don't know. I think it's weather.central _ YT for YouTube. I am so sorry if this has already been asked, but what threat is Joplin area today? I don't think... Is Joplin in a threat today? No. I think Joplin's... I mean, I think it might be in like a slight threat. Hold on. Yeah, you're in the... I believe that's marginal. This is slight. Well, this is slight. This is enhanced. This is moderate. This is marginal. Joplin's in a marginal categorical risk today. And then tornadoes, you are not even in the 2%. That doesn't mean you couldn't see one, but it's very, very unlikely. Of course. The reason I'm checking up on Joplin, guys, is because Joplin was under a PDS yesterday. They've been going through it. I don't think Joplin actually got hit last night. I'm pretty sure it fizzled out, or it collapsed as it got to Joplin. Again, guys, we're monitoring this. This might be a little swing up south of New London, but as we've been monitoring, this has been a straight line wind that with like what looks to be probably QCLS tornadoes. even remotely close. Give me 1 second, guys. Someone asked about Indiana, right? It depends on where in Indiana. You are under multiple different risk areas for Indiana, so it all depends on where you live. North of Vernon. You were in the edge of the 2 and 5% chance for tornadoes. It just depends on what the storm mode is when it gets to you, honestly. Just keep an eye on it. You are in a risk for tornadoes, hail, and wind today. You are luckily out of the SIG 1 and SIG 2, unlike St. Louis. Alright, yeah, this is definitely wrapping up here south of New London. If you are south of New London, I'd definitely make sure you're already in your safe place. But if you're anywhere inside this polygon, you should already be in your safe place. It seems to have calmed down a bit in Paris, Missouri. Still storming, but not as bad. Good. St. Charles, Missouri. I'm by St. Louis. St. Louis, right now, you're not seeing any storms, but we expect storms to start around your area in the middle of the afternoon, and then it really gets serious late to into the evening. Morton, Illinois. We are currently in severe thunderstorms. I think Morton. I'd have to find Morton. Right now, let's cover this though. Missouri is currently transitioning from being a tornado threat to slowly turning into a flash flood threat. Indianapolis, Indiana, bad. We just gotta see what the storm mode is when it gets to you. It's really about like if stuff can stay discreet or if we end up with big clusters. Still radar indicated on that. I need to turn this off. Severe weather. Yes. So basically, when you have storms come through an area like this, it stabilizes the atmosphere. So then it turns into the flash flood threat. But right now, St. Louis area, you are getting that pretty little sunshine that's making your atmosphere so much more unstable. Yeah, this is still wrapped up here. Ghost, where did you say you were? Decatur, Illinois. All right, right now you have a severe thunderstorm warning for 1-inch hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds moving to you. That's all that they really got for you right now. There's no rotation I'm seeing on any of these storms, so. Yup. Still got a tight little rotation right there. No CC drop. It's cloudy and cool in Fairview Heights, Illinois, and I'm 10 minutes from St. Louis. Yeah, if you're anywhere remotely around St. Louis, you are currently in a 15% SIG2 for today. So it's a dangerous day for St. Louis. If we see what we possibly could see, we could be national news or for somewhere around St. Louis, honestly. Pike County. I assume it's this or one of these counties. But yeah, there's a tornado warning right now. Right now, it's been pretty sure just QCLS tornadoes, quick spin ups. We do have a rotation right here, though. Houston, Texas. Ghost? Like right now? You should be. I'd still make sure you have a way to get alerts with your phone. You got rotation. Sorry, southeast of it. It would have just passed through southern New London, probably, if there was something. Wichita, Kansas? I don't think so for today. I'm not sure, though. Got a couple spots here that are trying to rotate a little bit. You're a really heavy sleeper. You can always get the thing. You can sign up for the thing where they call you. I know Max Velocity does a thing where you can sign up with him and they'll call you. Wichita, Kansas. Wichita, you are outside of the risk for today. You should be good for today. I didn't really do anything to that. I don't know why it's going off, but okay. Very hot weather in Houston, Texas. Any rain chances? Right now I'm not going that in depth. It's more just checking to see location and like if I generally know what it is. The big focus is like when we have tornado warnings, that's what gets the coverage. Me too. I hope everyone is okay. I need to tell my homie next door about that during the day when I'm home alone sleeping. Yeah. Always make sure like yes, you can have the weather alerts, but it's always like nice to have buddies or people that you can let know like, hey, like you got to check on each other and work together. There's 2 polygons right here. Isn't there? Why am I showing 2 polygons? Are they 2 different warnings? Okay. Oh yeah, because that one expires in a minute. So this is the more up-to-date one. I'm in Fairview Heights, Illinois, which is 10 minutes from downtown St. Louis, and it's cloudy. See if we can see. You do have some convection out here near St. Louis. So you would have it makes sense that it's cloudy. In some areas, but other areas it's probably full sunshine right now. Will the clouds clear? Let me see if I can pull up a clouds layer to see. I don't even know if it has a clouds layer. Be under satellite. Radar. That is not what I meant. See, the problem is this is not what's happening in St. Louis right now. Yeah, you'll have the clouds are going to clear and then you're going to get that daytime heating before these storms come in. That's probably why you got that upgrade for today. All right, let's go back to our tornado warning though. Do got a rotation right here. If you're in New Canton, Louisiana, Pleasant Hill, this is moving towards Pittsfield. So y'all need to keep an eye on this. Make sure you're in a safe place. Frankfort, Missouri. This is past Frankfort now, you're good now. There's some winds following up behind it though. Thank you, you really calmed my nerves just now. Of course. Guys, there is nothing to be scared of if you make sure you have a plan. If you have a plan, then yes, you can be scared, but know that you know what you've got to do if you do get a warning. And then it's just up to whatever happens at that point. Ain't nothing you can do, it's out of your control. Cubic, Iowa, storm is loud right now. Are tornadoes a possibility? Iowa right now? No. I don't think so. I don't think Iowa's seeing their tornado threat right now. I think that's later in the afternoon. Still got some rotation here though. I don't have a plan. I don't have a basement or any safe space if I get a warning. Look and see what shelters are near you. They don't allow animals? Oh my gosh. Do you have a neighbor? I mean, honestly, depending on where you live, today's a day where I'd be going and being like, hey neighbor, can I like, if we get a warning, can I like come into your shelter? Hannibal, Missouri. Isn't that near here? Yeah, you just had a tornado warning to the south of you, but it is past y'all now. Now it's a straight line wind threat. You probably just had some, or currently having winds come through that are pretty strong. Columbia, Missouri. Columbia, you're just dealing with flash flood that's coming now with all of this. Mexico, Missouri. You just had some hail and straight line winds come through you. It's probably going to turn into a flash flood threat for you, though. Baldwin this afternoon. I'm not looking that late right now. Right now, we have the active tornado warning. Where is Baldwin, actually? I can check and see where it's at. And depending on where it's at, I might be able to generally just tell you from what I already know. is going on today. Baldwin, okay, so you're the same forecast as St. Louis. You're currently in a 15% tornado risk of seeing tornadoes within a 25-mile radius of your location. You also are in a SIG 2 risk in this area, which means you could see EF3 or greater, and that's a 30% chance if you do see a tornado for it to be an EF3 or greater. So y'all really need to be weather aware there, and you need to have a plan ready for today. Linda. For right now, yes. Let me check. We're just going to check the whole model real quick so everybody is here and can see where we are. Right now, the model is showing us... Is that... So right now, the storms are currently here. Colombia and Mexico, you might have a resurgence of some stuff in about, that's 6 p.m. So 5 p.m. today. You might need to be watching out for some storms that fire. So I would check back in around 5 p.m. mid-afternoon, late afternoon. Just depends on how much clearing happens after the first line has moved through. Of course. Still got tight rotation here now. It's also probably producing some pretty large hail with it too. Again, if you are in these areas, you need to be in your safe place now. This is currently moving towards Pittsfield. So Pittsfield, you need to probably start making your way to your safe area as well. Of course. Baldwin is just west of St. Louis. That's where I am now. Oh, Lord. Yeah. Today for St. Louis is going to be... It's going to be a day. Right now we got a tight rotation right here moving towards Pittsfield. I'll probably extend this. This is velocities, so... Green is coming towards the radar. Red is going away from the radar. Our radar site is down here, by the way. Just checking to see if that's for anything. It is still radar indicated. It's also producing 70-mile-per-hour winds and 1-inch hail. Outside is green? What do you mean outside is green? Like the sky? It's probably a reflection or scattering of the light, if that's the case. Bowling Green is getting hammered. Anything new? Just monitoring this tornado warning that's moving towards Pittsfield. It just crossed the border. don't know if anything's actually on the ground because it is only radar indicated. Again, if there isn't a tornado on the ground, there is 70-mile-per-hour winds with this, and I think it said 1-inch hail. It might be hail larger than that. It might be smaller than that, but definitely a wind threat for sure. This storm overhyped. We see these all the time. Yeah, but when you have a tornado, a possible tornado, yes, you might see the wind and the hail all the time, but tornado is very like, I'm trying to figure out how I want to put the words. A tornado can damage a large location, but it's much more of a concentrated damage path compared to straight line winds and stuff. And with a tornado, you get a much more concentrated, much more severe damage than you see with most severe weather when it comes for straight line winds. Now, sometimes we get derechos with really strong winds, then those cause huge problems. Out there and the tornado warning. Right now, we're still monitoring it. Let's check velocities again. Velocities are still pretty tight on it. They'll probably extend this towards Pittsfield. I'm planning to. Unless I've got to get off to do something. I'm planning to. Yes, I am using Radar Omega. This is the computer version, actually. I pay for I think it's $11 or $12 a month. We just got the rain. Wind is high. Yep. What is this polygon? This is them extending it. Tornado possible. Wind 70 miles per hour. It said 0-inch hail. That doesn't make sense, but okay. Depends on where you live. Right now, St. Louis is in the bullseye for some pretty rough weather today. They've upgraded y'all to a moderate risk for tornadoes. That's a 15% chance of seeing tornadoes within a 25-mile radius of your location. And then you're also in a SIG 2, which means any tornadoes that happen have a 30% chance of being EF3 or greater. Bowling Green. You're getting some straight line winds that are moving straight over you right now. Rotation's definitely getting even tighter right here. If you're in Martinsburg, Atlas, this just went through Atlas. Summerhill, you need to watch this. Pleasant Hill, you need to watch this. Independence, New Hartford, Nebo. Like all the way down here, or just if you're asking about something, just type it in. I'll see if I can look it up for you. Jacksonville, isn't Jacksonville up here? I'm just gonna type it in at this point. Jacksonville's right here. I don't know exactly where the overlay falls for Jacksonville, but you do have this straight line wind and possible tornado warned line moving towards you. But this rotation fell apart in the next scan a little bit. Let's check correlation coefficient. Not seeing anything on there. Just keep an eye on this. If you're out in front of this, I'd keep an eye on it. I'd probably be making your way to your safe place for now. Carbondale, Illinois. Where is that? Carbondale, you're... This one to your northeast is 1 inch and less than 50-mile-per-hour winds, and this is convection that's just bubbling up right now. It's probably just going to be a wind hail threat for now until later this afternoon. I think you were going through Springfield heading to Chicago. Of course. Thank you for the roses, Green. Let's check the velocity on this again. I want to see the playthrough of this real quick. Just to see. Just a fun fact, guys. A part of why we like to watch the loops of the radar is it's kind of like watching moisture or it's kind of like watching a liquid or something is what we're doing. And when you do that, you can just kind of watch how it moves, and it can tell you stuff about the storm. Bloomington, Illinois. Right now, let me go to a radar site near you, actually. Right now, you're just getting a whole bunch of rain and stuff. Let's see if this clears up any. Models, convection. See, the problem with this is going to stabilize the atmosphere with all that convection. Bloomington. I think this is probably, you'll be straight line wind, hail. I wouldn't rule out a tornado, but it's looking like the tornado risk is going to be farther south, but we'll keep an eye on it. Good. Have a good night, or have a good day. Have a good nap. Of course, of course. Alright, they did extend the tornado warning. We are going to go back to that. That is what gets our live coverage. Yeah, the rotation's still rotating right there. Extended it. Pittsfield, you need to be getting in your safe place. Griggsville, zoom in a little bit. Time, Detroit, Florence, Milton, Martinsburg, Nebo, Pearl, Hillview, Whitehall. Looking ahead of this, Glasgow, Alsay, Winchester, Bluffs, Exeter. Y'all need to be watching this. Alright guys, while we have a tornado active warning, I'm not going to look up a whole bunch of individual places. I try to keep the focus on this, especially because coverage everybody doesn't always have access to coverage. Especially when, like this morning, nobody was online doing any coverage. There's still nobody online on TikTok, and then YouTube. Like Max, Velocity, Ryan Hall, none of the big people are even on either. There's literally no coverage. It's insane. Rotation's broadened out on this. So we'll look around a little bit. Alright, I'm gonna go to the National Weather Service real quick and look up something. Storm Prediction Center. I want to read a little bit of the wording on the Storm Prediction Center. All right, I'm gonna read out the new outlook that they put out. So for the mid Mississippi Valley and Midwest into mid South lower Mississippi Valley, they're saying, I'm just going to read it. An active severe weather day is forecast for much of the mid Mississippi Valley and lower Ohio valleys into the mid South. Ongoing thunderstorms this morning complicate the overall scenario to some extent, but a very favorable corridor for intense supercells and strong tornadoes is apparent this afternoon and evening across parts of Missouri into Illinois, where a moderate risk level 4 out of 5 has been introduced. Elevated supercells with mainly a hail threat could persist for at least a couple more hours till this morning across the mid Mississippi Valley. A strong low-level warm infection aids in continued influx of sufficient Sorry. I'm gonna have to get closer to my computer. I cannot read this when it's not zoomed in that well. I was doing good, and then Alright. Let me find where I was again. Amid strong deep layer shear. It was just like all of a sudden. Multiple clusters / embedded supercells are also ongoing this morning across western into northern Missouri. This activity should pose a greater threat for scattered, severe, damaging winds along with some hail risk. The tornado threat in short term this morning remains unclear, but it should eventually increase as the boundary layer across central Missouri continues to gradually destabilize, moisten. Okay. So good to know. Thank you for the hand hearts. Alabama. Alabama, I'm pretty sure you're good for today. You think Oklahoma will be good for the next few days? I'm not sure. I normally, when I go live, it's just to cover the actual weather. Sometimes I'll do a little jumping around for other stuff. But I do try to do updates. Like I post everything from the National Weather Service, like all their Outlook stuff, and then I'll put information on there that kind of gives you a description of what they're seeing right now for that day. I think I have one posted for the next couple of days up still. I don't know if I have one because I did go on, because normally, like, especially on a day like this, it's active. It's just me, so if I'm active, I don't have time to make an update. Right now, we're just focusing on the tornado warning, guys. I hate summer for this exact reason. Bees and tornadoes, I hate them. Yeah. St. Louis, we're expecting storms start this afternoon and really rank up as we go into the even hours. Y'all are currently under a 15% SIG2, which means you could see, it's a 15% chance of seeing tornadoes with a 25-mile radius of your location. And then on top of that, any of those tornadoes have a 30% chance of being EF3 or greater. Yeah, I hope everyone's gonna be okay too. Uh, it just depends on where storms fire. Y'all could see storms start to fire. I know when I looked earlier, y'all saw a couple storms like mid-afternoon that fired on one of the runs, and then it really starts to get bad the later you get today. We got out of the basement in New London, Missouri. Yeah, y'all are good in New London now. It's nothing's been confirmed. Alright, I forgot that I can't see my YouTube chat. I'm sorry, YouTube. YouTube always gets forgotten. It's because they get lost in all of my different things I got pulled up. Okay. Pike County, Missouri. Sorry. Alright, you ain't gotta spam it. Just remember, when I'm looking, I have like a tiny little box that I see of comments. Like I can see like only a few comments at a time, and then I get other stuff that gets pulled up. Pike County, Missouri. Oh, Bowling Green. Bowling Green, you're just... right now, it's just all flood threat at this point. You got all this convection out here that's just stabilizing the atmosphere at this point. Peoria, of course, Kendall. Peoria. I cannot spell. Peoria. I can tell you what you currently have going on. Just convection, you'll probably see maybe... You'll probably stay... Because this is stabilizing it right now. I don't know if you're going to get... You might get a little bit of severe that moves towards you. We'll have to see if anything actually happens up to the north. But I think the tornado risk is probably going to be confined to the south where we got our bullseye today. You have a severe watch? Yes. The severe watch is for hail up to 2 inches and wind 70 miles per hour. All right, let's check back down at our tornado warning that we have. Still got rotation. I think the rotation is here. That's so... It's just hard because there's so much contamination sometimes with this stuff. The tornado warning for what area? Yeah, all of this is moving towards Illinois. So guys, the biggest thing, we're gonna take just a second from doing that to show y'all this right here. This is the tornado outlook that dropped today. This is the updated one. I'm gonna give everybody a second to find where you are in this, if you live in this area. But you have a SIG 2 threat right now. If it'll pop up the information for it. This is a 15% chance of seeing a tornado within a 25-mile radius of your area, which is a moderate risk because we got upgraded to a moderate risk today. And then you also, for the SIG 2, that means if you see a tornado, it's got a 30% chance of being at EF3 or greater. So everybody take a second, find where you are. Now, anywhere in here could see a strong tornado today, but our real big focus right now is on this bullseye we got. Could they upgrade to SIG 3? I don't know. I can read the, let me see what they say in the alert, because sometimes they'll say in the alert if, okay, I was just checking to make sure that wasn't tornado possible. Sometimes they'll say in the alert if they're expecting an upgrade. Doesn't say anything about an upgrade, but there's always a chance. But I think right now, this, what they've put up is pretty accurate for what we could see for today. Right now, they expect our tornado threat to be consolidated more down here is where we're going to see our significant, like there's a chance for significant tornadoes in other places, but our main area of concern where the models are like yelling at us is like St. Louis, you need to be ready. All right, I'm going to turn off the tornado thing real quick. Let's check the velocities on this. Not as tight as it was earlier. I'm not really seeing any rotation like it was at all, actually. But storm relative velocity shows a little rotation here between Detroit and Milton. Yes, we were expecting a pretty possibly bad day in St. Louis today. It's the 15% upgrade for today for tornadoes on top of the SIG 2, which is EF3 plus. Like, this could be a bad. It could be a long track. It could be significant tornadoes today. Right now, it's out for EF3 plus as y'all's risk, but the environment's going to be primed. Here, I can show y'all one other thing. Storm, that QCLS was probably what that was. Just to let everybody know that before I do this other. Hail and wind in Rochester, Illinois. Let's go to models. I wanted to show y'all this. Show you the, I can't do it with that one. I gotta do 12C. This is the significant tornado parameters, guys. Some of y'all have probably heard of this before, some of y'all maybe not. But it is just, once we get into this afternoon and tonight, it just goes off the charts in St. Louis. Like, this is a big problem. Tonight, for sure. I'd expect you probably to see one tonight. Look at these sick. If you have storms in these areas, these are some major tornadoes we could see tonight. We have SIG-TOR values. Here, let me find a good frame. Here, we'll go with this frame right here. These are blues. I don't even know what blues are. We're topping out the range on this thing. If we're living on a hill, it don't matter. Actually, being in mountainous areas or rolling hills can actually cause, I think it's when it's either going uphill or downhill can cause intensification. There's something about the terrain that can do so with tornadoes too. I can't remember off the top of my head. I have to look it up. Shoot, I might just be talking about random stuff at this point. My brain's got all that random stuff stuck in it. Southeast of St. Louis. That was a later bit of the model. The whole model run, or if you look at through the actual model, right now this is where our significant tornado parameters are right now. But we don't really have storms in this area. They're not inside of this where the environment's good for it. And then this is where we move into St. Louis, where we probably will have storms in the area. Yeah, we'd have storms starting to enter the area. That's why you see them all kind of blow up. And you can tell all of these, like the model is obviously saying to you, these are all supercells, especially this one down, like, say, you're not really supposed to look at cells individually or anything, but say if we got like a cell that actually panned out like this, discrete like this would be one of those ones you'd watch out for a significant tornado. What time is that? Well, I wouldn't, don't look at that too hard because you don't know when cells are going to fire and what time they're going to fire exactly, because that will change the timing completely, okay? But in general, I can tell you what time it is. If it'll, I gotta go back to the 12Z. Why is my app freezing? So you'll have that clearing, and then about 2 p.m. is when you start seeing convection start to pop up in your area around you. Or that would actually be, that's 2 p.m. for me, so 1 p.m. for y'all. So starting this afternoon is when you might see some initial stuff pop up, and then as we get later is when you finally see all this kind of sweep through. So you get that time for the atmosphere to just get more and more unstable. All right, let's check back on our tornado warning real quick. Nothing obviously standing out right now. Oak Park. Where is Oak Park? I'm assuming Oak Park, Illinois. Oak Park, Illinois, you are probably good for today. You're gonna be good for today. We're expecting most everything to stay down south. We'll keep an eye on it though. This is Radar Omega. I actually pay for the subscription, so I'm using the PC version of it. That might be the rotation that they're talking about right there. Just if you live in any of these areas, just make sure you're in your safe place. We don't have anything confirmed. It's radar confirmed only, or not radar indicated. My bad. Let me speak English correctly. Jefferson City. Jefferson City. This thread is past you, I'm pretty sure. I don't remember exactly where Jefferson City is, so. Jefferson City, this is all starting to turn into, it'll initially be hail, wind, and then it turns into flash flood threat, and that's it. What exactly do they mean in the storm as double action or going to start up 2 times? I don't even know what that means. I've never heard of that. Double action. You mean like 2 rounds of storms? So like we have the initial round of like the severe stuff that's happening right now, and then you'll get their second round that comes in later this afternoon and evening. No, you're good. You're good. You're good. Edwardsville, Illinois. Edwardsville, you're going to be in the same issue as St. Louis. You're in the SIG 2 plus a 15% risk of seeing a tornado in your area. SIG 2 means EF3 plus, and it's a 30% chance of any tornadoes in your area, or EF3 plus with a SIG 2. So y'all are expecting significant, possibly intense tornadoes today. I mean, it's not exactly GG. It's more you gotta wait and see what happens. Tornadoes are very concentrated in their damage. Straight line winds is the ones where you really worry about it for a huge swath of people. Tornadoes is very like you've got to be like on your coverage. People have got to tune in so you can pay attention so you know like exactly where the tornado's at. Because just because you're inside this warning area, you could have it go north of you and then have one go south of you. Because a lot of the times you'll get the line of storms, they'll like trail like this. So you'll have one and then you'll have the next one that comes behind it. So sometimes you'll get one to the north of you and then maybe you'll see one to the south of you, but all you see is the straight line wind and hail threat, which can sometimes be just as bad as the tornadoes, if not worse sometimes when you get a derecho or something. St. Louis, we're looking at maybe some cells popping up starting this afternoon. And then as we go into the later evening hours of tonight, probably 4 or 5 o'clock is when it starts to pick up, maybe for y'all. I got batteries in my flashlights and I'm going to get a few more so we have plenty. Yes, as you should. Bloomington, Illinois. Bloomington, right now you have a severe threat, but I don't expect y'all to really I don't expect the tornado threat or anything like we expect down here towards St. Louis and everything. I feel like it's going to stay more confined to the south is where our threat is for today. Peoria, it just got super dark in New Hope, Missouri. PE. Again, though, if y'all are in any of the areas today, just leave your alerts on today. Have a way to receive them. Know where you're going if you do get an alert. Same thing for what I just did for Bloomington, for Peoria area. Y'all got hit in Slater, Missouri. When'd y'all get hit? Like by a tornado? Alton, Illinois, an hour ago, F2 or 3 maybe. You got any pictures? My Discord is actually in my bio on TikTok. So if you would like to share any pictures of media videos that you have, there's one in there where you can share it with where it was and your name so I can give you credit, or you can share it in the one just to share it and it doesn't get used. Greenberg. Is it Missouri? I assume it's Missouri. Greenberg, you're pretty sure it's raining up here. Where's the closest radar site that actually works? Yeah, I think it's gonna, the threat for you is good for today. Do you mind looking at New Hope? Yeah, I got you. New Hope. Is it, there isn't a New Hope, Missouri, is there? There is. I'm assuming it's New Hope, Missouri or Illinois, but I'm gonna start with Missouri. Right now, you are also, I think you're also close to the threat. Right now, it's just a straight line wind and hail threat. Maybe a quick spin up, but I'd say more just straight line wind hail. It's really more straight line wind. A lot of this isn't even severe right now. Missouri, so St. Louis area is our bullseye for today. Right now we have a 10%, actually we just had the, I'll read this in just a second. But we have a 15% chance of seeing a tornado within a 25-mile radius of yourself for the St. Louis area. And We also have a SIG 2 for this area, which means if you see a tornado, you have a 30% chance that it's an EF3 or greater. Of course, hate when people wish for storms like this because it's typically the people that have never been in them. Yeah, I mean, some people, like even me as like a meteorologist, like we enjoy seeing storms, but we also understand what they can do. Like we're curious about storms at a scientific level, and like of course like it gives us excitement and stuff, but we also like we understand the devastation it causes too. Illinois, pronounced with silent S. Thank you. Oh, I got that southern pronunciation. Is St. Louis supposed to get weather late? I don't know how late, but I know y'all are supposed to have significant weather today. Oh yeah. Well, you've got to expect people like when whatever they're doing for their job or like what they want to go study, they had to have some level of excitement about it for them to want to go do that. Do you know what time? So right now there's some storms that might pop up like mid-afternoon, but the later you get, later afternoon, early evening is when we really see that tornado risk peak, and at that it goes into the later night hours. Once it starts, and it's going to go for a little bit. We have a severe thunderstorm warning in Bloomington, Illinois. It's not showing for me yet. You have a severe thunderstorm watch right now. Also with this, I'm not really seeing what rotation. It's probably just a quick spin up like it's been all day. Fulton, Missouri looks like I have to go to my final. Fulton, Missouri. Why can I not spell today? I'm like fat fingering everything on my keyboard today. Fulton, Missouri. Right now, you're just in a rain area that's stabilizing. Let me read what this Let me go ahead and read what this mesoscale discussion. Tornadoes 100 to 125 mile per hour winds, peak intensity, hail 1 to 1.75 inches. Expect. This is probably as these storms are moving into this area, the later we get. Panoria says blooming so far. The storm seems to be pretty far away from us. Definitely a thunderstorm though. Give me 1 second. I saw someone today for DeKalb, Illinois. Again, if I butcher the names of anything, y'all just let me know. There's so many. DeKalb, Illinois, I would say is you'll probably see some thunderstorms. They'll probably see some thunderstorms today, but for the tornado risk, I think that's going to be farther south, but I'm keeping an eye on it. Okay. Of course, of course. Let me look. Kankakee, Illinois. Let me scroll up so I make sure I spell this right. Wait, Can I copy and paste? No, I wish I could. I cannot spell that. See, and it keeps scrolling every time I go to like read it to spell it too. I done lost it now. Nope, found it. Kink. Key. Yeah, we got it. Kankakee, Illinois, same thing I just told for up here. You probably have a higher chance of seeing something today, but as of right now, I'd expect most of any of our significant severe weather to remain in the southern areas, more closer around St. Louis. Let me go back up to date to where my chat is. I completely forgot what you said about North Vernon. Can you check that again? You're fine. North Vernon, Indiana, you should be good. I don't know if there's a threat later in the night. 1 second. Definitely around. Is that Central Time for y'all? I would assume it's Central Time. So about 5 p.m. is when this is showing storms finally showing up to you. But I'd give or take an hour with that. And then it's probably going to be straight line wind hail, but I would keep an eye on it. All right, we no longer have any tornado warnings. All right, since everybody's asking questions about everywhere, we're going to go back and do the easy thing, and we're going to put up our outlooks. We're going to start with our categorical outlook for today. I'll give everybody a second to figure out where you are on here. So we have all the way up to a moderate risk today. That's a 4 out of 5 on the categorical scale from the SPC. Right now, our bullseye for today is in St. Louis. And outside of this, you have an enhanced, a slight, and a marginal risk. You also just have a general thunderstorm risk around that as well. Where is Island Lake? I have no idea where Island Lake is. Island Lake, you're in a slight. You'll be good. We can look at the. I'll switch it over to the tornado risk real quick. And say it's the biggest storm of the year, like they do with all of them. It's that true for this. This could be one of the big ones for this year with the setup. And the part of why it could be so big is just because of the population that's in target, especially with St. Louis. And a lot of the times they use wordings like that to like, it's like clickbait sometimes, but also it's like, it's the only way to get some people to pay attention. But then on the other hand, it screws us because it's like, okay, it doesn't pan out and then people stop listening to us. All right, this is the tornado outlook that we have for today. We have the 15% chance. That's the moderate level for St. Louis area. And it goes 2, 5, 10, and then 15. And that's the percent that you'll see a tornado within a 25-mile radius of your area. And then you also have the SIG 1 hatched and then the SIG 2 right here. Yeah, if you're in the red, you need to pay attention today. You need to, 1, check the radar and the future radar before you leave anywhere. And 2, wherever you are, you need to make sure you have somewhere that you can go that's safe in a reasonable amount of time. All right, I'm going to turn these back off now. You can't. Let me see what this looks like on y'all's view. Hold on. Do y'all want me to like, okay. The only thing I can really do is like something like this, where I do this. Is that what y'all want me to do? Maybe I can change the font size. General display settings. Okay, there's nothing in there about being able to change font size. Love that. Is that... Yeah, I don't think there's a way for me to really change the size of anything. Does it help? Like when I made it like this, did that help? Like, did it make it easier to read when I did that? Okay. I just gotta remember, just remind me, like, y'all, I gotta make sure I have everything centered. I try to, but now y'all should be able to read everything. Boone Terre, Missouri. Oh, I did. Why did I? What? Y'all, I might be dyslexic or something. There we go. Boone Terre, same forecast that I've been giving for St. Louis. I'm pretty sure you're in the same risk area. Actually, it just depends on if you get the storms while the significant tornado parameter is high. But I'm pretty sure we are expecting storms for you. Hold on. Yeah. Mid-evening, probably close to when you're... That'd be 7 p.m. for y'all. Is when you're probably going to start seeing those storms come through your area. I'm gonna give or take an hour to that, always. It always depends on when stuff's... It always depends. Whitehall, Illinois. Alright. I'm gonna look this one up, and then if we don't get anything else in about 5 minutes, I'm gonna take a break for today until we are active again later today. Whitehall, you're also the same issue. We're expecting some significant tornadoes, also some straight line winds and hail. We're looking at, for you, in about an hour and some is when the first line of initial storms will be coming through, and then you might see a couple more storms depending on where they track. It's crazy these lines are traveling nearly straight east, where it's usually northeast. Yeah. Freeport, Illinois. Northeast Illinois is probably going to be good on the tornado front. There's a chance for tornadoes, but the main threat is for St. Louis. St. Louis, you have the 15% chance of seeing a tornado in your area within a 25-mile radius. And then not only that, you also have the SIG 2, which means you could see EF3 plus, and that's a 30% chance for any of the tornadoes you do see in your area today, for them to be EF3 plus. Oh, Illinois, my bad, guys. I'm trying. Illinois. Bloomington's currently where are you? You're somewhere around here. Yeah. Bloomington, it's just the flash flood watch. And then you'll have like the threat of tornadoes, hail, and straight line winds. But it's definitely, I think it's very much low end for anywhere north of, I'd say like right here. Anywhere north of this, I'd say it's pretty low end chance that you're going to see tornadoes today. I think the chance is going to be more to the south today. I'm in the red, but work in Missouri is going to be a long drive home at 4. Oh no. Please check the storms before you leave. Kansas is good for today. We can look at the tornado parameters for then. Hold on. All right, this is the last thing I'm going to do. I'm going to show you all the significant tornado parameters, and if there's no tornado warnings, I'm going to get off after that. I'm going to show you the 12Z. All right. So it's showing that if there's any cells, yeah, I would start for St. Louis. You just need to be watching out this entire afternoon, evening, for your significant tornado parameter is through the roof the entire time. So let's see if there's going to be any storms in the area. It just depends on if there's storms that have fired or not in the area. So no storms have fired. We do get some storms that start to fire. It depends on what time the storms. We don't know when things are going to fire yet. But that was the last thing I'm going to show y'all. Well, I'll leave it out with, we'll put it back on our little outlook overlay, just so everybody can see their little outlooks, and then I'm going to get off. Just to recap, we have all the way up to a moderate risk now today for St. Louis. That means that we also have the 15% chance of seeing a tornado within 25 miles of your location in the moderate risk. We also have a SIG 2 for that area, which means of the tornadoes you see, they have a 30% chance of being an EF3 or greater tornado. We have a really, really prime setup today for South St. Louis and further south in those areas. So please pay attention today, stay weather aware, have your alerts on. If for some reason I'm not live, some of the people I recommend to go watch is Max Velocity. Ryan Hall does a good job, but they usually do a really good job when they are alive. So if for some reason I'm not here, go check them out. They will take good care of you. But y'all have a good night or a good day and stay safe.